some quotes from this piece from Bloomberg. Very careful. Because this piece falls right in line with what I've been telling you about the three-class system and what happens when the government tells the recipient class to engage the producer class. Headline, Democrats move to assure doctors and unions on health care plan. Democrats in the U.S. House and Senate are moving to shore up support from their two most important constituencies, labor unions and doctors, as lawmakers seek to craft compromise on health care legislation. Now, in the grand scheme of things of the health care system, who's more important, labor unions or doctors? If the labor unions take a hike on health care legislation, who the hell cares? Who cares? I know that the SEIU has infected the hospitals, but there are plenty of qualified people who can step in and do the jobs that the SEIU workers are doing. They aren't skilled medical practitioners. Just because you work in a pair of scrubs doesn't mean you're a doctor. Just because you work in the hospital doesn't mean you're actually in the medical field. If you're mopping the floor in a hospital, you're not a medical janitor. You're still just a janitor. And I don't mean to insult anyone in the custodial arts or the janitorial services or whatever. But the SEIU has infected the hospitals. But you know what? Who gives a damn what the unions think about health care reform? Who gives a damn if they walk away from the table? Who gives a damn if they don't like it? You know, if doctors walk away, we're all screwed. When we go to the hospital and doctors operate on us, when they provide us with health care, we are the recipients. They are the providers. If the government sets in motion a clash between recipients and providers, who wins? If the unions are being seen here as organized labor, as part and parcel of the Democratic Party, as a constituency, they need to get reelected, and they want them to be happy. So they'll continue donating to Democrats, and they'll continue voting for Democrats, and they'll continue showing up like the mobs that they are for Democrats to take on the doctors. Who should be happy in health care legislation, doctors or unions? You know what? When I go to the hospital, when I go see a doctor, I don't care what the unions think. This is the problem here. If unions walk away from this, if unions walk out of your hospital or walk away from the hospital will keep on running. The hospital can refill the ranks of the candy striper long before it can the oncology department. The hospital can replenish the ranks in the cafeteria before it can replenish the doctors who perform spinal surgery. The hospital can replenish the ranks of the people who mop the floors before the people who actually use the scalpel. So when it comes down to a war between provider and recipient classes, we will all suffer if the provider class, the doctors, and the taxpayers who pay into the system walk away. Now, see, the taxpayer can't walk away. The doctor may even be the taxpayer in question. The union member may even be the recipient, the patient in question. The bottom line is the doctors hold all the cards, whether you like it or not. You think politics and charisma and thuggish pressure is the be-all, end-all force? You can't make a doctor operate. You can't set the price of his labor and then demand that he perform. You can't do that. You don't have that power. Senators said they planned to propose a tax. Oh, God, listen to this. Before I keep going with this, it is only in the mind of an arrogant, smug, left-wing liberal The belief that you can tax insurance to make insurance more affordable. You can tax a doctor's services to make the doctor's services more affordable. That you can tax a pharmaceutical company to make a drug more affordable. You can tax a food to make a food more affordable. You can tax a home to make a home more affordable. That you can impose a tax on an industry to create a job. Oh, look, we created jobs over here, 62,000 public school teachers. Yeah, how many factory workers did you put out? How many people lost their job to create 62,000 over here? The senator said they plan to ease a proposed tax on high-end insurance plans after unions protested that it would hurt too many workers. In other words, those Cadillac plans are the ones that the GM workers are on. You know, the retirees, it takes one worker is covering the cost of 3 retirees right now in the auto industry. So the union people want health care reform that gives them what they want, but doesn't touch what they have. Lawmakers may also shield doctors from the threat of cuts in payments from Medicare for the elderly. Senate Majority and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi are both working to combine different versions of legislation designed to curb medical costs and increase insurance coverage. The criticism from the unions, the Democrats' biggest financial backers, has them worried. Listen to this very carefully. We have to be careful. We don't want our friends in labor not supporting it, said Dick Durbin of Illinois. You know who uses that term?